What would you do if you found out something you cherished was possessed? Would you try and throw it away? Destroy it? Maybe sell it to some unsuspecting buyer? And how did it become haunted in the first place? Those are the questions we're going to ask as we explore those very objects. Some you might be familiar with, others so obscure that they've been lost to the sands of time until now. I'm your host, Evan O'Hare. Welcome to Haunted Objects. So before you buy that trinket at a garage sale or accept that family inheritance, take a look at these haunted objects and decide for yourself if you believe.
Thanks for watching Haunted Objects. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and click the bell so you can be notified when new episodes of Haunted Objects goes live. Now back to the show.
Just getting used to the weight. Queen Elizabeth. Liz. How she manages to carry that crown all day long without requiring additional neck support, beyond me. As head of the British royal family, that is one of the many requirements, as well as undertaking various public engagements, charitable work, and other interests. A rich tapestry of history surrounds the family, including conspiracies, tragedies, and romance. But did you know that there's a dark history of ghost attachment to many of the crown jewels? Here we will take part in just a few of those cursed gems. You may not have heard about the Koh-i-Noor diamond, but you've most likely seen it. It's the centerpiece of the Queen's mother's crown, having been transferred from the crown of Queen Mary and before her Queen Alexandra. But it began its life in Asia as a prized possession of the rulers spanning centuries. But this glistening diamond has a dark side and is said to bring misfortune to any male who dares to wear it. Perhaps that's why only women have dared to wear it since it was brought to the country. Although Queens Victoria, Alexandra, Mary, and Elizabeth buried both their husbands and at least one of their children, outliving them by decades. Elizabeth II declined to wear the diamond at all during her longest-serving reign. The history of the diamond is a bloody one of the bloodiest across history. It is reported to have belonged to the ruler of an ancient Oriental kingdom as far back as 3000 BC, and has been fought over by numerous rulers and appeared in numerous incantations. It has been a precious unset stone, a brooch, and an amulet over its many, many years. The diamond once belonged to a ferocious Sikh, Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who died during the Anglo-Sikh Wars, leaving his 5-year-old son, Duleep Singh, as the last Maharaja of the Sixth Empire. The infamous precious stone was seized by the British Crown and in 1849 was presented to Queen Victoria, who was then the sovereign of India. She was so taken with the stone that it was rehomed. During its long journey to England, many unfortunate incidents happened, such as cholera broke out and the ship almost sank in the storm. Many of the crew lost their lives, but the stone finally made it to London, where it was shaved down to within an inch of its original majesty. Legend has it that the Hindu curse was placed upon the diamond, saying that only women can wear the diamond without harm. If men should wear it, they will encounter great misfortune. It was stated in Queen Victoria's last will and testament that the stone only be worn by females, and the true ownership of the stone has continued to be disputed to this day. With claims of ownership by 4 countries, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Britain. But the United Kingdom has maintained its legal ownership over the gem. Today, the jewel is displayed at the Tower of London as part of the Crown Collection. Whether the stone actually does carry a curse affecting all the men who wear it, or if the misfortune associated with it simply stems from the greed and envy that such a valuable stone inspires, we'll never know. Unless, of course, the future king dares to put that theory to the test when he takes the throne. With the future 3 generations of the throne being males, only time will tell on this one. The English royals can boast not just one curiously sinister gem in their collection, but a handful. For example, the Black Prince's ruby. This one is the blood red stone in the center of the imperial state crown. The imperial state crown is the crown that the monarch wears as they leave Westminster Abbey after the coronation. It is also used on formal occasion, most notably the state opening of Parliament. It carries another gruesome history, having been in the possession of England's rulers since the 14th century. The stone was originally found in the tomb of the Sultan of Granada, torn from his corpse by Pedro the Cruel, King of Castile. Perhaps the first bout of misfortune came when his half-brother attacked him in an effort to take over the crown. Pedro, in turn, appealed to Edward of Woodstock, a famous knight at the time, later to be known as the Black Prince, for protection. He gave it to him and helped successfully halt an attempted challenge to the throne. In exchange for his assistance, Edward received the fateful stone. Unfortunately, Don Pedro died just 3 years later, and Edward died before inheriting the English throne. When his father died, Edward's son, King Richard II, inherited the throne and the jewel. He also inherited the curse that came with it and was murdered when he was just 21 years old. The Black Prince's ruby passed through the hands of several English rulers who died under tragic circumstances before being inherited by the Tudors. An inventory of the jewels belonging to Henry VIII included mention of what historians concur is the same stone. The days of the Cromwell brought back the dismantling and dispersion of the crown and its jewels. Exactly what happened to the gem during that time remains unclear, but when King Charles II was restored to the throne, the stone was returned to the royal treasury, and it's been in royal hands ever since, as part of the imperial state crown. What is the value of this stone? And the answer may safely be given that it is priceless. For no amount of money can buy it. It is indeed one of the most famous gemstones in the world from one of the most famous gem collections. Whether the cursed objects shown this evening are of myth, urban legend, or fantastical paranormal occurrences is for you to decide. I hope I haven't left you eyeballing your shelves and contemplating your latest thrift shop purchase. But if I did, get in touch. Tell us about your possessed possession, and maybe we'll feature it right here on Haunted Objects.